Good morning. Come in and have a seat. That's great. If I could just take your name, please. Thank you. And could I have your address as well, please? You've not very far to travel, that's great. And could I just have your date of birth as well? Yeah. Yeah. I must say, you look very good for your age. Okay, let's get started. I can see from my records that the last time you had a sight test was just over a year ago, and it's down on my records that you need to have a sight test every year because of an eye condition that runs in your family. Is that correct? Okay. Well, today what I'm going to be doing is I'm the trainee orthoptist, and I'm in training to become an optometrist. So I'll have a look at the back of your eyes today, get you to do some reading, run a few little tests. If we find anything untoward, then I will refer you on to the optometrist, and obviously you'll have every 2 years you'll go to the optometrist anyway. So if we make a start just with your visual acuity, if you could just cover your left eye for me and just read the top letter. That's great, thanks. And now if you could read the third line with your left eye covered still, please. And that's great, thanks. And now could you read this letter for me? Yeah. And this letter? And how about these first 3 letters? That's great, thank you. Now if you could cover your right eye, and we'll do the same thing. If you could read all of the second line for me, please. These last 2 letters? Very good. And how about these 2 letters here? Okay, let's try reading all of this line with your right eye covered. Very good, thank you. And if you can uncover your eye, and could you read these last 3 letters here? And the first 3 letters of this line? And the last 3 letters. That's great, thank you. Okay, if you could try reading all of this line for me, please. Yep, very good. And if you could just try reading this last line, this was a bit difficult. Fantastic, that's great. Well, I can see that your vision hasn't changed from the last time at all, so looks like you won't be needing a prescription today, which is excellent news. Now I'm just going to have a look in your eye. I am going to be using a magnifying glass with a light attached to it, so it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it won't hurt, and I promise I'll be over very quickly. Okay, starting with your left eye. Okay, now then, if you could look straight towards me, please. Thank you. Now look up. That's great. Now look down. Fantastic. Now look to your left. And to your right. And again, look forward towards me. That's great, thank you. Now your other eye. If you can just look towards me for a second. That's great, thank you. Now look up. That's great, look down. Thank you. Now look to your left. And again to your right. And look towards me again. That's fantastic, thank you. Well, that's very, very good. I can see that the retina, the cells at the back of your eye are very healthy. Your lens is completely clear. That's very, very good. And your eye looks very, very healthy and is following all the normal movements. So now we've just got a few more tests to do. If you can look at the top of this for me and just follow it with your eyes. That's great. Fantastic. Now if you can cover your left eye for me, just follow it again. A little bit closer this time. That's fantastic. And again. That's great. Now if you cover your right eye, I'll do the same thing again. You can just follow this with your eye. That's lovely, thank you. And one more time. That's great. Okay, now I'm going to hold one of my fingers close to you and hold this in the back. So if you could focus on my finger, then at that, then back to my finger, now back to this, and back to my finger again. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for doing that. Looks very, very healthy. Now, as you requested, you told me that you've got a history of cataracts and diabetic retinopathy in your family. Well, I'm going to be doing a small short testy today for little signs to look out for with something called sim specs. Now, these are spectacles that help to simulate different eye conditions. Now, obviously, two people with the same eye condition will see things very, very differently, so you can never completely replicate what someone with an eye problem is able to see, but they do give an indication. So I'm just going to have to come a bit close to you, if that's okay. Okay, so this one, if we just look out through this simulates diabetic retinopathy. So as you can see, it's very patchy. It's very hard to make things out, and the vision is patchy. So that's diabetic retinopathy, as you said, you have in your family. And this is AMD, which is age-related macular degeneration. And what this does is the macular cells at the back of your eye, they degenerate from the age of about 40 onwards. Macular degeneration, there's two forms of it, wet macular degeneration and dry macular degeneration. Unfortunately, there's no cure for wet AMD, but there is for dry AMD, but there is for wet AMD, and that's some injections into your eyeball to help with it. But basically it means the centre part of your vision goes and you just have the peripheral. And glaucoma, or tunnel vision, is the exact opposite of that, where in the later stages, in the later stages, you just are able to see a very small amount through the centre. That's why it's called tunnel vision. And then this last one is helps to simulate cataracts, which is, cataracts are when the lens of your eye becomes blurry and light can dull and you can't see things properly through it. So that's cataracts. What I recommend is to have an eye test at least once every year or once every 2 years as directed by your optometrist. But it is very important to go from about the age of 3 years old up until the age of 7. Any different eye problems such as strabismus, amblyopia, which is a squint or a turn in the eye where the eye isn't able to turn the same as the other one, they can be corrected before the age of 7 but not afterwards. And your records obviously are becoming very regular as of your family, which is excellent. But it's very important to get a regular eye health check. So thank you very much for coming in. Your eyes are very healthy today. If you just want to speak to the receptionist on your way out to make another appointment in a year's time, and I'll see if anything changes. I'm always here. Thank you very much. Have a great day.